Hey, what's up, guys? King J coming to you live from hell once again. Now, today I want to talk about, once again, letting go. I want to talk about detachment. And I'm starting to really be open to different interpretations of what these things mean. I was asked today, actually, what does that mean to you? Detachment. And I think detachment has honestly evolved throughout the process of everything I've been going through. I'm going through a transformation. I'm letting go of a lot of things that I thought I was, a lot of things that I was, a lot of things that I wanted to be, a lot of things that I thought I needed to be. And it is strange, and it feels weird when you're in the process of it, and it's almost like you can't enjoy everything when you realize it doesn't have the meaning that you thought it did or that it used to. When you let go of certain meanings, you're free to give it any meaning you want, right? And that goes with any aspect of your life, but it's personal to you. You can't change somebody else's mind. You can't change somebody else's opinion, somebody else's interpretation, somebody else's meaning that they give to something. You're only in charge of yours. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes we don't want to look at things that way. Sometimes we just want things to mean nothing, and we just want to experience and receive and enjoy simple pleasures. I always felt that I was cursed. I always felt that I couldn't just be normal. I always felt that I was on the outside looking in, and I just wanted to get in. You know, it's like George Carlin says, life is like a circus, and I just want to buy a ticket. I didn't want to just buy a ticket. I wanted to be in the show. And I wanted to be like a monkey dancing for pleasure. And that's the validation seeking right there. And I had to realize that the validation that I needed for myself. And then in the process of developing a relationship with myself, I start to figure out a lot of things. And I start to look at myself differently. And I know that I need to be my own support and my own parent and my own motivator. But it's almost like the more that I do that, the more that I'm kind of like, well, what do we even want? And then I have this struggle where it's like, I need to trust myself in knowing what I want. And then I need to have this idea that, yeah, I'll do everything right. When really I just need to be okay with knowing that I can't do everything right. And knowing that I'll make mistakes. And letting go of those mistakes, forgiving myself for those mistakes, and continuing and persevering through with those mistakes. That's what I talked about in my last video. Enjoying the process, loving what you do. So I think the way for me to love what I do is to let go of the pressure that I would put on myself, let go of the outcomes, having things, needing things in a certain way, whether it's validation, whether it's being attractive to people, whether it's making art, whether it's making music, whether it's making these videos. There comes a time where I question, what is the purpose of doing this, right? And the funny thing is that that's not even like, that's digressing from the entire point, because the point is not for these videos to challenge existence or challenge honestly super deep topics, right? I'm not, that's not even what I'm here for. I'm here to express myself on a journey and hopefully inspire people through my own transformation. And I guess the demographic that I'm looking at is guys who feel like they're looking at from the outside in, and they just feel maybe misunderstood. And for those people, I would like to say, you're definitely not alone. You are special. And you may never want to be special. I never wanted to be special. I never wanted to feel special. I never let myself feel special. I thought I was, and pardon my language here, I would say I was retarded all the time to myself. I would call myself a fat retard. That's what I would say to myself. And that was funny to people because it was like I was keeping myself in check, maybe even seeing like a humbleness because there was arrogance There was arrogance, and then there was me self-deprecating. And I used humor to do it because that was a way to get validation. That was a way for me to seem vulnerable. It's like I'm aware. I'm aware of what I'm doing. But the awareness isn't enough. You could be completely aware of everything, but it's not really helping you. You're really in your way. And as a matter of fact, it's the unawareness, that ignorance, that bliss that a lot of people feel naturally that I was always jealous of. Like, it's like, man, you're not even aware of what you are. You're just getting things in your reality and receiving. Yeah, there's no blocks. Those types of people, they have nothing in their way because they don't look at the things that could potentially be in their way. And I always would look at things and try and prevent bad things from happening. I didn't want to hurt people. I didn't want to hurt feelings. I didn't want my own feelings to get hurt. So I just approached everything with so much caution, everything, to the point where I would like sabotage myself from taking opportunities, or I would just not even seek out any opportunities. I just hoped that things worked out perfectly and that everything was going to align in my way, the way that I wanted it to. And I guess the difference now, and the funny thing is I used to really feel that everything happened for a reason, and I still do, but it's not always on my head. Now I don't really think about the reasons things happen. I just try to see everything for what it is. I have an awareness of what I'm thinking, and I use that awareness not as a way to tell me what I am, but as an awareness to let go of what I think I am. Because that's all it is. All that time that I thought I could define myself so easily, that was just stories I was telling myself. That was just me getting in my own way of, did you see what you did there? That was a mistake. Don't do that again, blah, blah, blah. And I think that that's smart, but it's not. I think the right thing to do is to be aware of those stories, those words like you're doing these things wrong. And instead of using that as fuel, just focus on you existing without any of the pressure of what you want to do. Because you're not going to be able to get things done if you're constantly in your head telling yourself what you're doing right and wrong. Like you can't just be a critic all the time. You're never going to work. You're never going to enjoy the grind. So what do they say? Sometimes a grind, especially in games, it's mind numbing, right? And I think there's some power in that because you're not really thinking. It's just it's like second nature. It's like riding a bike. And I think there is a lot of things that need to be approached that way. Instead of this hype and this need and this desire for a goal, I think it should just be, the goal should be minimized as it's a symptom of your work. It's an afterthought. It just comes with the package. It's a byproduct of the hard work. So for me, I never even thought about how well I was doing. I always just thought about what I wasn't doing. I just focused on my lack. I just focused on my need, and I just focused on what I was doing wrong all the time. I would never give myself a compliment. And then I think doing the opposite, constantly boosting myself up, I've never done that. I don't even know what that experience was like. I just always assumed that was the wrong way to go about it, because then you'd be living in delusion. You would never be aware. And I think the awareness is important, but to me, that's only the first step. The awareness is literally the key to seeing what you think is wrong with you, not what's really wrong with you, what you think is in your way, not what's really in your way. And the next step would be to let it go. So an example would be you're trying in the gym and you're just and you just want to give up, or you're just feeling like, man, I'm never going to hit that PR. And that feeling right there, the awareness of that feeling, I'm never going to do that. You could use it as fuel to keep going, or it could stop you. But that fuel, that I'm going to prove myself wrong, or I'm going to prove this person or that person wrong, that could be achieved without anger, without resentment, without pain. Without that, I gotta show you. It could just be done. I think I'm gonna do this. I don't know how. I don't know when, but I believe that it's gonna happen. And when you stay in that belief, you're not focused on time. You're not focused on anything. You're just literally enjoying the process, and it's gonna happen. You believe it's gonna happen, and then it's gonna show up. But you have to believe. It really is important. And you have to let go, not of what you want, but of the way that you want things to show up, the way that you want results to come, and the desire for particular things. You can get particular things, like very specific things, specific people. I believe that. But I believe the more specific you hone in on your desire is the more resistance you have to it. It has to come naturally. And if you truly believed you were going to get what you wanted, it really wouldn't be in your mind 24/7. You would know that it's just coming. And you could focus on other things. You could focus on enjoying your life, enjoying the process. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm looking at challenges in a new way. I'm going to make another video about this. And I know, talk about Fortnite. It's weird. I wasn't really planning on talking about Fortnite so much. But it's something I've been playing for years already. I've always played on controller. And I always thought I play on controller so that way I could be switching from different consoles and I don't have to readjust. That was a dumb excuse for why I didn't want to use keyboard and mouse. I just didn't think I'd be good enough. So now I'm making the switch and I want to play in keyboard and mouse and I'm looking at and I'm thinking about this learning curve and I'm thinking about, all these things, right? And I just had to let go of that. I had to let go of what the mistakes that I thought I'd be making. And now it's fun. I'm looking at and I'm trying to make it. I'm not even trying to make it because trying would mean that I don't believe that it's going to come. I'm just doing. I'm in the process of becoming a good PC player, and I don't want to just be average. I want to be good. I want to get cracked. And that's what the next video is about. And I know that it really has very little to do with the topic of this video, but to me, it symbolizes letting go of the belief that I couldn't do things. It's almost just me showing myself, hey, I can do anything. I want to do so much, and I'm not going to let myself get in my own way anymore. That's the vibe that I'm on right now, and it's not. I'm not that special. This is not specific to me. This is stuff that when you look at your belief systems and you just let go of all the limits in your head and in your heart, you're just going to be on a pathway of destruction, destroying all the things in your way to get what you want. That's the path that I'm on, and it's fun. It's fun. It's a roller coaster, and I'm just trying to enjoy the ride, baby. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you would like more, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. King J out.